Okay, so in this video we're going to talk quickly about just removing a metal humbucker cover. Most of them are going to be wax potted, so you'll have a little bit of wax to kind of work with. All metal covers are usually grounded in a couple of places. Sometimes the solder's a huge pool, sometimes it's smaller. We'll just go over kind of our method to getting the cover off quickly. So we'll make sure our iron's heated up. It's a good idea to have a pretty decent temperature on your iron, because you are going to need to kind of heat this up and kind of move quickly as well, because once you start heating up any of these metal parts, the wax inside is going to melt, kind of make a huge mess. So move quickly if you can. The hotter the iron, the better, just in this case, so we can get a good melt on our joint. One of the things we like to use is a fairly sturdy box knife or razor blade. Some of the smaller razor blades don't work as well. Ideally, we want a pretty fat blade, and you'll see why in just a second. So the best way to do this is to try to remove this without the solder reheating and reattaching basically the cover. So the way that we like to do it, we're going to take our iron, we've got our solder joint here, we'll work on the top one first, kind of get it melting, make sure it's all the way melted, and then we'll take our blade and just kind of stick it in between, preventing the solder from reattaching. Wait till everything kind of cools down, make sure our iron's clean, pull it out. Now if we want to go ahead and run the blade down just on the outside edge here, that's probably not a bad idea, because as you can see there is some wax buildup there from the wax potting process. So we'll do the same thing. We'll turn this around, grab our iron, heat up the joint, drop our blade in the slot there. Sometimes this will go quick, sometimes it'll go slow, again depending on how much solder is there. You may want to use a solder sucker or the desolder braid if you have a lot of solder. It may just take longer to do a method like this to get all of that solder to heat up. So there's a couple other methods we can do. So we'll run our blade through the edge again, just kind of break that wax up, and then we should have this cover come off with a little bit of work here. So the rest of that solder is kind of still all around the case there, but now we've got the humbucker cover off, so we could swap covers, or maybe we want to go with this black, white, or zebra look. So that's just a real quick tip on how to take off the humbucker pickup cover. So it's great if you want to change out to maybe a different color, or you want the uncovered bobbin look. Once you get it off, we do light wax potting, so we don't have a ton of wax, on the surface. You may want to finish tape the humbucker and clean it up a little bit if you're going to put it back in your guitar, because chances are most of the humbuckers will be pretty messy once you pull that cover off, and you can see on the inside there's some wax residue from our process. So just another quick mod you can do to your guitars. Take the cover off, and that's how it's done.